I'm Coach Arlen Harris, high school and college All-American and NFL running back. I'm here with my son AJ and Aiden, and we're going to go over blocking techniques using just the med ball. We're inside practicing social distancing, but when you have opportunity, go hit that subscribe button. We're going to be putting out a whole bunch of videos to get you guys better as running backs. Running. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about blocking techniques today. All right, concentrate on just using the med ball. We're in our basement right now, working on social distancing. We're going to utilize our space right now in our basement, so just bear with us. We're going to help you guys focus on three things, all right? You'll hear a lot of coaches at every level talk about blocking and how it's a mentality, which is very true, all right? But when you have a big guy coming down the middle or off the edge, that's easier said than done. So we're going to concentrate on three things. Number one, all right, is going to be eye gaze. Number two is going to be our hands and our legs, all right? And number three is going to be hips. So the first drill that we're going to go over right now, all right, we have Aiden holding the med ball down in here, so he's situated, and we're going to work on the hips, all right? Hand placement where our thumbs are up, holding that med ball, and our elbows are down. The thing about holding the med ball just naturally, and again, whatever you're using, whether it's a med ball, basketball, or even holding a bag, just naturally when you hold right here, this is the strike position. All right, so our elbows are down, our thumbs are up, and you'll see right here, he's going to try to hit the wall, again, not just trying to put it through the wall, but just working on his technique. Here we go, hit, and he's gonna get back up. And you'll see, we'll try to slow this down for you. Again, watch his hips and his hands as he shoots it through, keeping his elbows inside. It's not a chest pass, ready, hit. Good, and he gets back up. Let's try that one more time. Ready? Good job, rest, and get on feet. So that's just one drill that we work on, again, that we start off with. Again, remember, we talk about a progression. So especially with younger guys, you just get them on their knees, all right? Work on just them being comfortable with their elbows up, with their thumbs up, their elbows down, and just getting used to just falling comfortably on their chest. The next drill, we'll go to AJ, we'll get a little bit closer to the wall. Same thing. Again, we always talk about, again, stepping on toes and closing that distance. We'll get on our knees again. And now this time we'll make a little bit contact. So before we even have contact, we'll go through the toss, and then we'll make sure just naturally just reach out, make sure you can touch the ball. Make sure you're close enough. Again, typically this is you don't ever want to block with your limbs or your arms perfectly straight, but we want to make sure that we're close enough, all right, to make sure we're in strike distance. So again, that's how we make sure we know if we're close enough to the wall or not. Again, we start off sitting on our heels. Again, same thing, elbows are glued to our ribs, thumbs up on my hip, ready, hit. Now we strike, and you see, because we're a little bit closer, his elbows are flexed, and he's not allowed to get back into that position where his arms are straight. His eye gaze is through the defender, and he's hitting up and through. Again, his hips are shot all the way through. Again, hamstrings flex, and we're able to get back through. Let's try it again. Ready? Hit. Good. Remember what I said. Eye gaze. His eye gaze is up, again, and we talked about our arms and our legs. You'll hear me say a lot. What mimics your arms, your legs? Well, that shoulder width apart, which we'll get on our feet here eventually, but we're shoulder width apart, again, with our hands on our knees, making sure we have a strong foundation, all right, and all of our power comes from our hips. Let's try it one more time. Set, hit. Good job, rest. Up with our feet. Let's switch it up. All right, the next drill. Again, we talk about progression. We're actually going to stay close, all right, and now we're going to talk about getting to a good shoulder width edge. So close that base down. So let's just turn right here. Put the ball down really quick. When we talk about getting in a good strike position, before we even pick up that ball, you'll see kids right here and they open up their base. Well, that's not what we want to do. We talk about our arms. Again, won't mimic your arms or legs. Well, if your elbows are glued to our ribs and our thumbs are up, naturally our legs should mimic that. Now we can talk about pad leverage and all that stuff, and now we're in a good strike position. And yeah, there might come a time where you need to open up just a little bit, but if you start with the legs and your base is overextended or the arms are out here, now you're looking like Spider-Man, and then you just don't have a strong base and you can't step and reach and get to where you need to go. So make sure you're holding that ball good. Again, we're back to the wall, okay? Now we're not taking a step. Okay, on my hip, come for me, set, hit, good. And again, he's still got a little flexion. You can bend those knees a little bit more and rest. Good, take a step back. And what I like to do is, you can mimic that for our knees. Now you can keep them honest. Grab 2 cones or whatever you have at home. Again, you can put them down here, shoulder width apart. Again, you're still holding the ball in your good strike position. Now you're going to make them step over the cones, and then they'll get into a strike. So let's try that same thing, but now utilize the cones. Okay? You're going to start behind the cone. Here we go. Ready? Hit. Good. Let's try it one more time. Hit. Good. One more. Hit. Good. And rest. The next one. So now what we're going to do is, as we went through this thing and you're learning to make contact, again, we don't have the opportunity. I know we have some bags here, topple bags that are able to go back and forth, weighted bags, but because right now we don't have the opportunity to go and actually hit people or in pads, we're going to continue to use the med ball, like I said. So what we'll do is we'll be in a good strike position. You have to have a partner or whatever, and we're not trying to put too much velocity on the ball, but we'll throw it across. And again, we're still practicing the same strike zone. Our elbows are glued in, and you're going to strike the ball and try to return it. So once your partner delivers the ball to you, again, you remember, you don't want to concentrate so much on the velocity of the ball. You want to make sure you're in a good strike position. Again, making sure you're worried about your eye gaze, seeing the ball coming, your approach, where your hand placement is going to be. Again, your hands and your feet, all right, being shoulder width apart, and then obviously bringing your hips with the power. Make sure you're returning the ball. Don't necessarily try to guide the ball back to your partner. Don't worry about that. Just make sure you're worried about your technique. Let's try it. Let's try it a little bit. Here we go. Ready? Hit. Good. Good. Slow it up. Take a step back, AJ. Good. Good. Rest, rest, rest. And you can notice, remember, when you punch, you're actually hitting with the meat, the fat of your hand, right? The palm. So you see a lot of, we're not pushing, all right? Our elbows aren't out, our elbows are down, and you're striking out this way, even if they're coming downhill, or we'll talk about cutting people in half. So what we'll do is if someone's struggling, the ball's going down or ricocheting outside, we'll actually have them catch the back end of the ball. All right, so let's try that right now, all right? So now you actually want to, when you're here and he comes here, you actually want to shoot your hips and catch the ball, all right? You should be behind it. Let's just try that a couple times. Ready? Hit. Good. Throw back. Hit. Good. One more. Hit. Good. Rest. Good job. So those are drills right there. As far as when we talk about linear, when we think about maybe drive blocking or just maybe throwing your flag in the ground or pass protection, which I'll do another video concentrating on pass protection. But this is more just down the middle when someone's coming down and you need to, pretty much get base and be able to make sure you have good technique and you're in a good solid strike position blocking someone that's right in front of you. All right, so let's get into some more like movements going laterally. Talking about, again, blocking. So we just do 2 cones, get a wall, whatever. If you go in your basement, your garage, you can go not even 5 yards apart. You start off with the med ball. Again, and all you're gonna do, inside leg up, you'll take a step, then we're gonna strike and return. Take a step, and you'll notice big step, big step, small step. We'll strike, shoot our hands, catch it, and then they'll get to the other side and then return and make sure they go with a good foundation. Good, do the same thing from the back. Good job. And now you can get a little bit closer. You can go in, front of the cones or straddle the cone. Now we're actually want to make that contact. Remember, the first one you can do it on air, or make sure you're just working on the technique, and the next one you want to make some contact. So now again, straddling. Now we're here, boom, side step, and now we're really striking and making contact. On you. Good, stay low. Good job, good job, good job, good job. We'll stay with you, Aiden. We'll stay with you. All right, we got 2 more drills. Again, you can take these cones and kind of simulate kind of a gap again, remember, we want to concentrate on keeping the defender in front of us for right now. All right, we're holding the ball, and we're going to give them a direction. So I'll say right or left, we'll step right, and we'll make contact. Same thing, we're still rolling the hips. We're just stepping to that direction. We're not stepping outside the cone. This defender is still in front of them, but they might be picking a side of them or shade or whatever that is. So now we're just stepping to it instead of just being able to shoot with two hands, okay? So we're able to unilaterally take that step, and we'll make sure they punch, and then they get some, reaction by just giving them a direction. Ready? Right. Good. Come on back. Left. Good. Right. Good. Right. Good. Left. Come on back. Last one. Left. Good job. Good job. Good job. So not bad. That's really a good one. That's one of my favorite ones right there, just getting them to react. And you can get their feet chopping and whatever that is. And again, as you progress, using pads, getting rid of the med ball. This last one is more of a challenge. You can have, make it fun for the kids. We're gonna go to more of a lateral shuffle, and you're actually gonna try to keep this ball up in the air. And some kids, you might wanna stay away from this until their technique is strong and they understand the concept, because you don't want them to create or start to develop bad habits. So what you wanna do is, again, you need to go back, widen this up a little bit, as far as you want. And you're actually going to punch the ball instead of just side shuffling, just throwing the ball at the wall and catching. They're actually going to strike with their palms, and this ball could go anywhere. So the ball's gonna tell on them if they're not hitting it evenly, all right, or balanced. It might go this way. They might have to keep up with the ball, but they're gonna continue to punch, punch, punch until they get to that cone, and then we can bring them on back. So let's see how this works. You're not gonna have the luxury to continue to shoot your hips. So you can see right now his hips are kind of already semi-loaded, and then you're gonna continue through punching. Ready? Go. Good. Good job, rest before I bring him back. So you can see naturally his feet will start to pitter patter a little bit more, staying alive, firing, striking, staying on the balls of his feet, creating that power, all right? And then he'll be able to bring it right back. And you'll see a lot of linemen always talk about them with my backs. They watch the bigs, they keep their face out of that contact. You'll see naturally really being able to keep their eye gaze up, and they're being able to keep that separation, because that's all blocking is creating separation to the football. Whether you're protecting the quarterback or whether you're protecting your brother in the backfield that's running the ball, is creating space. That's all blocking is. Ready? Go. Good job, good job, good job. So hopefully you guys learned something new, found out some pretty cool drills that you can do at home. Again, hopefully everybody's staying safe right now through this COVID-19. Everybody's staying blessed. Make sure you guys are protecting yourself. It's always an opportunity to get better, not just on the football field, but off. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us. We're also on Instagram @TrainRunIt. And if you have any questions, throw them right down there on the comments, or reach out to us and we'll love to hear back from you. All right, run it.